Recording now.
Okay, this is not going to be a very long meeting. Dred's going to talk about some Mechanicus things, and I'm going to talk about some Mechanicus things. Uh, Before that, and this is kind of Mechanicus related, we are ready to move the server almost. So sometime within the next 7 days, we will need about $60 in overhead to move the server on. So, uh, we'll get to that. I'll send the announcement out when I'm ready to move it. Um, and everything should go pretty smoothly. So that will mean that we will have more power and more storage at our disposal. And because of that, we're going to start storing Mechanicus project files like 3D models on the server, and people will have a login that are in Mechanicus to have access to specific folders to get a hold of that stuff so that we don't end up losing project files like we have in the past with animations and models and scripts and everything else. So we're gonna start doing that here pretty soon. Um, so speaking of animations, Korn is going to commission Hightails for
User
the
left your channel.
dual wield and what the
User
fuck?
joined your channel.
Sorry, that was my bad. I clicked on the button.
Okay. Korn is going to be commissioning Hightails for the dual wield and right hand melee attack animations. Right now, we are going to be getting 10 animations, 3 to 4 of which are going to be movement animations, i.e., run, walk, idle, and jump. If you would like to pitch into that so that we can get more attack animations, that would be nice to anybody involved or wanting more animations out of that. Korn has everything ready on his end, and we can pitch in more if we want more animations. I suggest going with the initial set of animations that Korn wants, and then adding more later on after we see how good the initial set of animations turns out. But if you want to pitch in after that, once the animations turn out well, because it could be a month before we see them, we can start a new commission to get more animations for that situation, as well as we want to get spellcasting animations too, which I think Sam and I were going to pay for. I don't remember if we agreed on that or not, but one of us will pay for that. Yeah, because we only need a few, like on the spellcasting end of things. So that's gonna be a thing. We have line in for another animator, and that's pretty good as well. So in terms of the server moving, I have backed everything up on this server, and I will do another backup when we are moving, so that if there's a problem, we can revert back to this immediately. But for the amount of time that we are moving everything, the corruption payout systems and the armory unlock systems will be offline. That might only be for an hour or two. It might be for a day. So just bear in mind that there'll be maybe 24 hours of downtime with the armory, but probably not. We just need to mess around with a few things. So that's about it in terms of my end of Mechanicus things. Dredd had some things he wanted to talk about.
Just really updates for what I'm doing. So I made a little list, give me a sec, and command earlier. As a lot of you know, probably, we're getting back onto working on vehicles. The Vulture is almost done. I think I'm about to release it, honestly. Just, I have one thing I need to fix, but I can hot fix that later, and that is with the nose Vulture turret. With that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to be updating the Valkyrie as well to have, well, just up-to-date stuff pretty much, because a lot of the air vehicles are quite a bit out of date. After I get at least the Valkyrie and the Hellblade updated a little bit, I'm going to get back to working on the Hydra, because the Hydra had an issue with how the sit base was handling moving around the secondary seat on the very top, and I changed things around, and now I can do that, so I can knock that out pretty quickly. After I did the Hydra, I'm going to start working on the Lehman Russ some more, just some,
What about
make
the
sure
Wyvern?
things are up to date. I can work on the Wyvern as soon as the Hydra's out, too.
Okay.
Let's see. At some point, I'd also like to start working on the plasma gun, but I've got to play around with how it's going to work first. One thing that was why the plasma gun kind of sucked when we first were fucking with it is that I forgot to put a control event in the node. So that was a big mistake. But the new one will not have that issue.
What was it doing though?
It was making it really sluggish whenever someone started lagging.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's about it though. Most of the other guns in the armory are pretty much feature complete now. We can fuck around with things, we can make new things, but we're pretty set and solid with a lot of our equipment.
Yeah. So we're gonna be promoting some people soon, but we really need a lot more recruits. So if you have friends that want to join, make sure you get in contact with them. I know that it's been kind of a busy summer for a lot of us, so we haven't been on a lot, but there's a lot of people in TeamSpeak right now. You all have friends. See if they want to join. We're going to be revisiting the furry policy in October. We'll see what happens with that. That might create an influx of people, but it's still going to be a hotly debated topic, and we're going to have to approach it when we get there because we don't want to have to create a bunch of additional administrative problems that we have to deal with when we're already so busy. We need to start planning for what we've been wanting to do, which is all like meet up somewhere at some point, and we'll figure that out. Ricky originally had mentioned a cruise because group pricing on cruises is pretty cheap. We'll do some research on that. We're gonna set up after the servers moved. We'll set up the Libera Pay stuff for people that want to like have automatic subscription payments deducted as opposed to having to be reminded every day about SimRent. I'm gonna make a bot. Well, I'm gonna make webhooks and work with Dread on making a bot that lets us know when somebody donates to SimRent, so that on the Discord it'll tell you, it'll ping everybody every time somebody donates to SimRent with how much is left on it, and I think that'll help out a lot too. It's super easy to do. It should be a couple lines of code. So, once again, if you donate 5,000 lindens and it keeps track of it, you get a requisition point. You can unlock something from the armory. Please donate to the box. Do not donate directly to me or Sarah. Please don't donate in 1 linden increments because it makes it really hard for Sarah and I to look through transaction logs.
Yes.
In the future, when we decide to do a new sim build, we're going to buy our own full simulator. It'll cost us like $100 extra for the first month, and then after that, it'll be the same price as we're paying now. And the reason why we want to do that is because it'll make it a lot easier to hot swap sim builds out on the fly. That'll probably be sometime in November or December. I want to get the objective system done for this sim before we bother building a new one, because the objective system that we build for this sim will be modular enough to turn into a different objective system later on, which makes swapping sim builds out a lot easier. Because we could get to the point where we just, like every month or so, swap the terrain file out and drop down a box that reses out a different sim build or something like that. So we'll get to that. The only build we've ever bothered rebuilding is Vrax, and we were able to do that in a day. And then we decided not to use it. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll work on some stuff like that. If you have ideas for systems that we can put in place and things like that to make things a little more fun and engaging, that's fine. We can put some zombie spawners out if there's nowhere to raid. Like, just hit me up. I'll put zombies out for everybody to fight with and shit like that. And we're gonna start maybe recruiting from other games next year. The reason why I'm bringing this up 6 months early is so that you guys can plan for it. I have the forum set up to where people can register with the forums through Discord now. and I might get it set up to where they can register through Matrix as well, so that, you know, if there's somebody's autistic enough not to want to use Discord like me, they can still register. The preferred method of registration and joining the group will always be through Second Life, though, and we'll decide whether or not we want to make that mandatory when we get to that portion of things. Right now, we need like 10 more enlisted people before we can promote anybody that's currently in the enlisted tier of the group. Now, a couple of the people that are NCOs and up may be moving up over the next month or so, because we currently have no one in the champion role, and the only other warrant officer besides Cronus is completely inactive. So we're gonna sit down and look at that. We're gonna try to get in touch with some of our older members, because Korn seems like he's having fun, and get them back and doing things, because we have a really big void in, like, the people that do things versus the people that either aren't high enough rank to do things or have a rank and aren't doing things. And so we're gonna really sit down and go over that over the next few months and see what we can do to fix it. I am ejecting Sabina because this meeting is almost over and she didn't show up, and she was given a warning last week, and now she has wasted my time for re-inviting her to the group. If you have not shown up on Sim for 30 days and you do not have an excuse, meaning you have not contacted me, Hake, or Clary to tell us where you're going to be, because we're the ones that keep track of that if you're going to be gone, you will be ejected. We will also start keeping track of people's, whether or not they've participated in raids or not. And so if you've not participated in a raid in 30 days, you will be ejected in the future. That's not there yet. So, yeah, Sabina's even online. So, fuck that. I'm not wasting my time with that anymore. What's that?
They saw the notice.
Yep. If you are a cultist, finish your cult training. Approach anyone that's Marauder rank or higher. The handbook tells you what the rank hierarchy is. Ask them to help you finish your training. Like Khaleesi, Brian, Ace Army, and there's like one other person like that have been cultists for like over a month now. Let's get this taken care of, because those are people that could be enlisted, that could fill out that 10 more enlisted number that I was talking about. So let's get that squared away. If you are interested in contributing to Mechanicus projects like modeling and stuff like that, I know Magnus was working on like a Slanesh staff and stuff like that, and it turned out pretty good. Hit up Dread and Sam about things that might need to be done. If you're interested in selling things now that you're modeling stuff, like anyone, and you need some advice on how to do it, I will give you advice on how to set up your store. Don't put it in Heretic. We suck at listing shit in the Heretic store, and it'll never get listed if you put it in the Heretic store.
Thanks for letting us know.
We could use weapon pods.
Yeah, weapon mods, and pods. Oh, for like the fighters
Vulture,
and shit like that. Yeah.
The Sentinel.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't good enough. How dare you?
Well,
yours
actually,
is
I
good
do
enough,
need yours to
but
get
you
Yeah,
don't
we
have-
need more.
You
Yeah.
don't have
Oh,
an
shit.
auto. Yeah, you don't have an autocannon weapon pod,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
or like multi-laser, etc.
Yeah. So we're going to do that tournament thing like next week or the week after. You'll see some notices about it. There's like 100,000 corruption available for grabs through the tournament, so we'll split that up a little bit. There'll be some squad tournaments and stuff like that, and I'll be dishing out corruption for people participating that has nothing to do with the corruption that we're divvying up that's in the rank database that isn't being used. So we'll get it all squared away on that. I have some ideas for some of the Zinch and Nurgle sorcery stuff that I'm going to sit down and write about that will be easily achievable. I would like to see like a small feature update to the Plague Sword and Plague Axe, and then I have some ideas for Slanesh stuff as well. Sarah, do you have Ricky's bolt pistol still?
I have to go try to find it.
Okay. Did he ever send you his rapier?
I believe he did. I have to go find it. I can do
Okay.
it right now.
All right. He's looking for those model files. If you want to talk to him about it, see what needs to be finished up on them and things like that, because they'll probably need to be UV'd and probably have to have bakes and stuff like that. So we'll take a look at that. I think there was a big issue with some of the normals on the bolt pistol or something, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was
Yeah.
just a test. It was more of a test than an actual finished
Yeah.
model.
Wasn't he working
Yeah.
on a Doom Siren as well?
I don't remember. I want to get the rapier out for
Alright.
Slanesh. I want to get Zane's Slanesh broadsword out too. Once we get the main hand melee weapon animations, because that one would be cool to be used with like a shield or something.
Yeah, most definitely.
We need to get some specialty ammunition for some of the weapons made, like Godfavor ammunition. Like you were talking about a Zinch Flamer. Let's do that and just have it as a thing that you can unlock if you have Zinch Favor from the regular Flamer. You know what I mean? Like it just unlocks and it's an option for you. Plague Bolts would be pretty cool. Yeah, just like quick, easy stuff to do like that to give people more incentive to get, for their God Favor. Because right now it's like a lot of people, they're buying God Favor, and like if you're Slanesh, you don't have anything. If you're Khorne, you have one thing, which is about to change. Khorne's about to get like 3 or 4 melee weapons, so. But we still need to like get some stuff ready for Slanesh so that Slanesh isn't left with absolutely nothing. So, and there's some cool ideas that have been tossed around. In terms of, like, if you're online and the Sims being raided, this goes to everybody, even the militia people. Try to get someone's attention in the TeamSpeak if it's like you and a bunch of veterans, or you're a bunch of veterans, and you're allowed to like organize the defense, but try to get somebody that's capable of administrating the sim on as well. Now there is the enforcement panel, which isn't working right now, by the way, Dread. We need to take a look at that. And we'll mess around with that some more. I think the enforcement panel should grab the person who's occupying the OIC slot for sim enforcement, as opposed to how we have it grabbing the champion role right now, because it's useless if there's no champions. So there's
I can
useless
do OIC integration.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be too hard.
It's not like a huge priority, but we need to get that taken care of. Like, if you want to go on a raid and it's just a bunch of veterans and militia online, you can go on a raid and just contact one of us and we'll go run the raid tracker for you or something like that. Like, I'm usually at home, but I am working most of the time, but I can log in and, like, sit in a sim and run the raid tracker for you guys. That's not a big deal. So, that about covers everything. I'm gonna clear the Sims ban list of everybody but Design Clarity here pretty soon, because it's been a long period of time, and the only person that I think deserves to still be banned here is Design and all of his alts, so we'll take care of that at some point, in the next week or so. If you guys have any, like, requested Minecraft mods or anything, talk to Rachel, because we're moving the Minecraft server. We were playing Open Arena last night, and it was a lot of fun. If you guys want to play Open Arena, the server's up at the same address as the TeamSpeak. I am also going to buy some domain names to shorten that as redirects, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do in the future for that as well. I want to buy a new domain name for the group. So that, like, the big problem that I had with chaosindivism.com was it was hard to spell. I don't like the name Chaos and Divism, and when we start branching out into other games, I think we should go with the Lost and the Damned name that we've been using in Elite Dangerous, because it's edgy, and Tyro made a horrible, horrible fucking graphic for it, and it's so bad that it's good. And I think that our group website, like, the thing that I didn't like about how we were doing, we've gone through like 4 different websites that none of you guys have ever seen. The thing that I didn't like about it was it just looked too modern and sleek. Some of you guys that are older might remember like the old GeoCities, like gaming clan websites and stuff like that. That's what I want to do for our website. Like, if you guys want to help design the website, that's cool too. We can always go back to doing something like really sleek or something like that even. But I just
Okay,
it always
so
looked boring. What's
I've
up?
got one problem with the Lust in the Damn name though.
What's
That's
that?
the name of a biker group in
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Good. We'll come up with a good name, like based on like how we started with 40K and stuff like that. But we'll get something figured out. I'm surprised Games Workshop didn't sue the shit out of Rockstar.
Hmm.
I didn't know that.
I found the rapier.
Cool. What's
Rapier.
what's the rapier?
Rapier.
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 Raphael.
Yes.
Yeah, the Raphael. That's
Ninja
we need to
Turtles,
watch
fuck
Teenage
yeah.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No.
Oh,
Alright,
bad
I'm done.
movie night. Let's watch Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
Alright,
yes.
I'm done.
It's actually really good though, so I don't know.
All right, are we done here?
Anybody else got anything to add?
Yeah, Sam's gay, and
oh,
he doesn't
Cornhead.
want to have. No, I got something to say. Okay. So I was talking with Sam a while back, and he's really gay, and he says that he doesn't want to have worms coming out of his butthole. He doesn't
Yeah,
want
I heard
intestinal
that too.
parasites.
Yeah, what a
Like,
fucking
I don't
weirdo.
know what the fuck his problem is, dude.
It's just unsanitary.
Why don't you want intestinal
Because
parasites?
I'm not a nerdlite.
So?
Oh,
That's all.
I was gonna add something actually.
Horrifying.
Corn, you can go ahead first.
Okay. I'm just gonna way backtrack to the animations. I do not have a jump animation idea ready yet, so if anyone has one, I'm all ears.
Okay,
Just
we'll
to
figure
try to
that
find
out
something.
because we definitely need a jump animation.
Yeah, everything else is set.
We can
And
use
for-
the pre-jump for the pistols and stuff like that for it. That's not a big deal, but we do need a jump animation that doesn't look goofy.
Yeah, and then as of now, I think I have, like, including the jump, I might have 9 animations for ideas.
Yeah.
So
Well,
just be trying
I've
to find,
got
like, the
a
10th
couple
one.
thousand lindens I can throw in too, so.
Oh yeah, money's not gonna be an issue because if it's 20
Yeah.
bucks, I can just like hardcore drop that and just be like more additions. And sure, like if people want to pitch in, get more.
Yeah.
But we should probably do what you said and test the waters first before we just put
Yeah.
like a.
Yeah,
few
instead of
things
dropping
again.
$100 on animations and then getting
Yeah.
something we don't like we've done in the past. Commissar formals.
Yeah.
Which I still have the files for. So this is going like if we have a problem with another group, handle it on a day-by-day basis. Like, don't let it ruin, like, and I'm not talking about, like, the Grand Fed thing in particular. We've had this issue with coercion and decretum before, too. Don't let it ruin every time we're fighting with that group. Grand Fed's the new example of it. Give them a chance to attack. If they start acting stupid, tell them to go away, like we did decretum and coercion. But, like, handle it on a day-by-day basis, because there's only so many people we can attack with the numbers that we have. Like, KPC or CPC's dead. Proteus's group is dead. Silverhawks is dead. Sam Hain's group is pretty much dead. Like, you'll see like 7 or 8 people of those groups on every once in a while, but when we get like 12 dudes on, the only places we can go are Grand Fed and
User
Boss
entered your
Imperium.
channel.
And it's the same deal with them. They don't want to be booted out of here. So try to get a hold of their OIC if somebody's doing something stupid. If they mouth off at you, tell them to fuck off. I already told them that that's how it's going to go. We told them we'd give them a chance to talk to, like, for the OICs to talk if something's going on. And that's fine if you guys saw what was going on in Error last night. But those dudes, they don't want to be kicked out of the sim if there's a way to prevent them from being kicked out of the sim, just as much as we don't want to get kicked out of Grand Fed sim or Voss's sim while we're raiding, if there's a way to prevent that from happening, because really our 3 groups are the ones that can fight with each other in full force right now. Other than that, like, it's small raids throughout the day, like you go to Netragon or something like that, and with Mikhail's group, Frere Jacques, they're not open yet. Integra's not open yet, and those groups are small. They've got like 5 or 10 people, so you're not going to expect to get more than 5 people in a defense from them right now until they get their sims open and start recruiting. A lot of people are interested in doing a new continent. Well, look at Proteus's continent. There's some reasons why that's not doing well, but the other reason is we just don't have the numbers as a community to do a continent right now. We need 500 active people in the community to do a continent. How it is. So I'd like to see more raiding throughout the day, but if there's nowhere to raid, fight with each other like we used to do. Like, set your homes on opposite sides of the sim and work together as a team. Seth, I can't fucking read that.
I can read it if
Oh
you
yeah,
want me to.
we used to have a raid schedule. Terminus used to run that. We could do that again. Bentley, you're the one that leads most of the raids, outgoing raids now. Do you want to set up like a raid schedule?
Yeah, I can. I mean, a lot of
We
it
could-
fluctuates though due to like who's online.
Yeah,
we could
but that might get
make
people
one,
to get
put it on the
online.
wall and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we can schedule some raids. Maybe like
Yeah, we've
twice
got
a week or
the
something.
Mechanicus work board. Why don't we just turn that into a raid schedule?
Yeah, I need
anymore?
to rework that as well so it doesn't result crims because they kind of grief the sim.
Yeah, it should just be a hover text thing, dude. Just a box
Yeah.
with hover text on it where people can be like, "I want to lead a raid," you know?
Yeah, I was using it as a corruptor
Yeah,
tracker.
yeah, yeah. It can just be a box that has hover text above it. I'm gonna set up some other community stuff on the new forums too, or the new server too. So that'll take a little while and occupy some of my time for a bit. I guess Dark is kind of shutting down the Cabal, which was his Dark Eldar group. Apparently, there's still like some work being done, but it doesn't look good for them. So that's a big group that's gone now, which sucks.
Well, they kind of stopped being a big group after we tried retheming.
Yeah, well, it was
Because all
a
the
little bit.
furries want to be us.
Yeah. So, I'm going to talk to Dark about what he intends to do with some of the stuff that was developed on the server I was hosting, or am hosting for him. And then we might mess around with integrating some of that shit into some of our shit, or just giving it to the community. Like, this is part way done. Because it'd be a waste to just let it die, you know? So I'll get in touch with Amalia, too.
Do we want to grab some of their members too?
No.
Not really.
There's not many that aren't furries.
Is Bambi a furry?
No. Bambi had a bad parting of ways with us in 2014, but that was a long time ago. So if he is interested in joining the group, I'd be willing to give him another chance, because I had the same issue with Brig back when Brig rejoined, and Brig, has been in the group, and other than being Brig, he's been a good member of the group. And there's been other people like that too, so.
We'll have to consider it case by case, ultimately.
Yeah. Yeah. But Bambi is not a furry, and he is welcome to turn in an application, and I would allow him to go through Cult as an enforcer, because I've known the guy for a long time, and I know he is not a fur fag. What's that?
Are you finished?
Yeah, does anybody else have anything to add?
Questions, comments, complaints?
My complaint is that you're not spreading your ass right now.
Oh!
Yeah.
I think that's
Right. No.
What's up?
Hang on. Militia, Cult Vest, Box,
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah.
donations, Militia Key, please.
Can you pee on a poo?
Yeah, that'll take a little while to roll out, but please, start adding the militia key to the gear, because we can
Okay.
if we don't want somebody using the gear, we can just delete them out of the database.
Okay.
Yeah. The militia people donate a lot, like Fate, for example, and he has tons of requisition points he can't use.
I
Militia
don't think
people,
Fate
you
should
will
be treated
never.
like a person.
Yeah, you will never have access to God favor items. Everything else you can access by giving us money to pay for the sim.
The-
Okay, the end.